vain for the Führer. The Siegfried Line is in the news again. These pictures of some of its anti-tank defenses and fortifications were taken before the war. At that time, the line seemed to be, in fact it was, a more formidable proposition than it may be today. Hitler, too, took immense pride in it and regarded it as impregnable. Well, 5 years of war make a difference. Static defenses are no longer what they were once thought to be. Already, definite breaches have been made in that line. American troops who have been in a position to make those breaches are here on the threshold of Germany, firing onto German soil, preparing to tread the sacred soil of the Reich. Crossing a stream on the frontier, they now invade Germany. There used to be a song, "Oh, what a surprise for the Duce," remember? Now it's Hitler's turn. Roetgen, complete with white flag, was the first 100% German town to be taken. Judge for yourselves whether you think the inhabitants look as if they understand the situation, even now. Perhaps they think we'll forget German atrocities. Maybe they'll say, it wasn't us, it was the Nazis. Well, the Allies, who have suffered 2 wars in a lifetime, intend to see they don't get away with lies and trickery of that sort. It's up to Allied troops entering Germany to make that crystal clear. Fraternization is out. Surely that's obvious. Here's a view of Wallendorf, another German town, one of the first to learn the lesson of what war means when it reaches your own country. That's something Germany hasn't experienced for centuries, if we accept the fighting in East Prussia in the last war. This time, however, the Allies, advancing into Germany, have come to stay. And so long as Germany continues the fight, so long will its towns be smashed. As at Wallendorf, war will blast and burn its way through the Reich. On the fringe of the Siegfried Line, one of the first of the fortifications to be smashed. The Hun himself blew up some strong points in his so-called impregnable line. Others were blotted out by our guns. Others were captured more or less intact. This one bears a notice saying that Hitler visited the pillbox in person. Well, it doesn't seem to have done much good. General Hodge's American army is on the right of General Dempsey's 2nd British Army. We see them at a meeting before the British advance into Holland and the landing of the airborne army in Holland. Here are United Kingdom troops crossing the Escaut Canal. This was the beginning of the bold and rapid drive forward to Nijmegen to link up with the airborne forces. Typhoons operating with this drive did great work helping to clear the way for the troops. And the troops fought their way through with great speed and determination. Those men are firing a captured German machine gun. German bullets going home to roost. Men of the Dutch underground army were now prominently on the surface, cooperating with the British and doing very useful work. And now, as for the Allied airborne army, that was the biggest thing of its kind the world has yet seen. Pictures taken when the great force left Britain give an indication of the size and the minute efficiency of a vast undertaking. Fighter cover to deal with what remains of the Luftwaffe. It was by airborne invasion that the Germans took Crete. Our own airborne troops made a magnificent contribution to the success of D-Day and the days that followed. Now, in greater strength than ever before, airborne forces flew on their way to Holland to play what may well prove to be one of the most decisive roles in the whole war. Part of the Army of the Air crosses the Dutch coast. Down below you can see some of the areas which have been flooded by the Hun. But flooded areas, waterways and rivers, even the Siegfried Line itself, all can be jumped by airborne armies, which can then expedite the forward surge of their comrades already fighting towards the Reich. At Geel in Belgium, it must have been an amazing sight as aircraft went over. First reports told of brilliant success, but also of very hard fighting. Obviously, the possibilities and the implications of this operation, combined with Dempsey's drive, are enormous. Results are still in the making. Our pictures show the actual landings in progress. Many gliders are already down. Others will land near or amongst them as you watch. One will collide with a glider on the ground and lose a wing, but get away with it all the same. Certainly, this picture of the airborne army landing on German-occupied territory tells its own story. We end our newsreel story with the landing of paratroops. The story of the battle to outflank the Siegfried Line and advance into the Reich is still being told. May final victory crown the efforts, the skill, and the daring of the Army of the Air.